Kimberly Guilfoyle with Devin Nunes. Wait, we got to peek into this, and then I'll let you guys go, I swear. Hold on.
Shake up. Tucker Carlson's been a dear friend of both myself and Don Jr. He is a tremendous talent.
Tremendous talent.
It's definitely a loss for the network, but
it is a loss for all of us. No question.
Mark my words, he will land on top.
Ew. Come out on top, land on his feet. I don't, unless you're just going to let him. I don't, ew.
And the network said in a statement, quote, "We thank him for his service to the network as a host and prior to that as a contributor. And his last show was on Friday. We'll have more reaction coming up."
They said that at the end too. We'll have more reaction coming up. No, that's in your... These motherfuckers don't know when to say unquote, do they? They just can't figure it out.
Tucker...
Why don't you just do this and just that, like your boyfriend, so we know, just stop doing this when you're no longer, whatever.
Is really such a talent. So
is he a talent, though? That's the question I want to know. Is he such a talent?
We wish him and his family all the best.
Yeah, whatever happens to them, God knows. I mean, now they've been, Fox News, traditionally when you get fired from them, they put you on a big pile of driftwood and shove you out into the ocean.
And longtime host Don Lemon is also gone from CNN, saying he was fired after 17 years and saying he was stunned. And meanwhile...
And say he was stunned. Okay, he was stunned. Now what? Oh, you did right. Oh, he said he was stunned. I thought you were saying we should all say, because you said say instead of said. It's my mistake. It happened to anybody.
Biden's domestic policy advisor, Susan Rice, is leaving the White House, raising more questions about the turmoil plaguing Team Biden.
The turmoil? The what?
And saying he was stunned. And meanwhile, Biden's domestic policy advisor, Susan Rice, is leaving the White House, raising more questions about the turmoil plaguing...
Turmoil. Are they? Does everyone have a roiling term? Do they rotate?
Team Biden. We have full coverage. Just
oh boy,
ahead.
Could you do full coverage? Maybe even just turn the camera off entirely. I would just feel more comfortable.
And yet another embassy evacuated under Biden.
Yes. Unlike Benghazi, I suppose. You would prefer that?
This time in Sudan. Benghazi hero and 13 Hours co-author Mike Geist will be here to react.
To the fact that they got people out ahead of time before shit hit the fan?
And Rogan O'Handley, you know him.
No, I really don't. I mean, I know, I've heard the name.
As social media, he's a superstar DC Drano.
DC is fabulous. He's going to drain the swamp. He was completely unsuccessful during the 4 years of the Trump administration, but he's trying.
Here to lay out all of Biden's never-ending failure.
Never ending. They are never ending.
And
that's what, because I don't know anything about the Biden's depilatory, but it's easier than plucking, I suppose.
Rogan O'Handley, you know him affectionately as social media. He's a superstar DC Drano. He'll be here to lay out all of Biden's never-ending failures.
Never ending.
It's going to be a long list, folks.
Yes, never ever.
That's just the head.
That's just the head. Ooh. I didn't realize we were playing that kind of a game. What the... All right. Look, everybody flubs when you're speaking live. It's okay. Just roll back and go, excuse me, blah, blah, blah. And just fix it. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you just kind of move ahead, we just are going to assume at some point you think that's how those words are spoken.
Truth Social CEO and former chairman of the House Intel Committee,
when he had a real job,
Devin Nunes, will join us.
Nunes. He doesn't do the Nez part of his name. It's Nunes. It's pronounced Nunes. I know this, and I can't fucking stand him. He almost single-handedly saved your father and your peace-in-laws. I don't know what the fuck. You guys are dating, right?
In just moments to react to new developments.
New developments?
About corruption inside Team Biden.
What?
Which brings us to our top story on the growing rot inside federal law enforcement and the refusal to hold Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, and the whole Biden family accountable for their nefarious foreign relations.
Nefarious foreign relations. I think you're alleging a crime, but it could all just be supporting Ukraine as well and not sucking Putin's dick. So, Hard to say.
And we lead off today with the most indisputable evidence yet that the Biden campaign was directly involved in perhaps the most egregious act of election interference in modern political history.
Oh my God.
As
they totally torpedoed our October surprise. And we lost because we had an October surprise and it didn't work.
we are now learning that the Biden campaign in 2020 pushed former CIA Director Mike Morell to help Biden by organizing the infamous October 2020 letter that falsely claimed the Hunter Biden laptop was part of a Russian disinformation campaign.
Which it was.
In sworn testimony, Morell told the House Judiciary Committee that Secretary of State Tony Blinken, who was then a Biden campaign advisor, reached out to him to put together the letter to help the Biden campaign. Now, that letter was then spewed by Biden
Oh, it's spewed. Thought it was red, but whatever.
allies in the media and even by Joe Biden on the debate stage to falsely tell the American people that the contents in the laptop, which revealed extensive evidence of foreign corrupt practices by
Foreign corrupt practices. No crime, but, whatever.
the Biden family, were Russian disinformation.
It was.
Of course,
Still is. There is no laptop.
nothing could be further from the truth.
Well, a lot of things could be further from the truth. I mean, there's a lot of things that are very far from the truth. Like, I don't know, some people's natural lip size versus shit that they do to make them not that size.
The laptop was real all along.
No, it wasn't.
We all
Still
knew.
isn't.
Biden has been corrupt and compromised all along.
All along. The Chinese. That's why he's trying to overcompensate by being tougher on China than any president in U.S. history. That's why he's doing it. It's because they paid him to screw them, and that's just what they're into.
We all knew it.
We knew it.
And even the media is now being forced to admit it and actually cover the story.
Oh my God.
Take a look.
Oh my God.
Letter released Thursday night from the Republican chairman of the
Oh, we saw that part. I want to see the Tucker Carlson stuff. Oh, fuck. Nunes is coming in? Maybe he'll react. Hold on.
Donald Trump. Here to respond to all of this, Truth Social
All of it.
CEO and former chair of the House Intelligence Committee, Devin Nunes.
And current schmo. And here it comes. Get ready for the smile.
Devin, a pleasure to have you on the program.
He can't not do it. It's a lock face. Can't not do it. Doing the Nunes. Hi, Kimberly.
Thank you for joining us.
Great to be here.
To be with you, Kimberly.
Yeah.
As again, another big news day. But
Oh, boy.
first off, let's go over your reaction, if you will, to the news that Tucker Carlson
See his face right there? Face is relatively normal. Devin, just do that. just do that. Just when you're waiting, just do that. That is not helping.
is leaving Fox. This comes on the heels of Dan Bongino. We hear there may be more people
How many more? You hear who? Oh, you heard more? I mean, you guys know, so dish, sister, dish.
exiting Fox News. How does this change and shape the
I feel like she's handing out roses on RuPaul's Drag Race.
media
Is that how they do it? I don't even watch the show.
landscape?
Well, it's a big gamble, I think, for Fox, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a big gamble. Yeah. And apparently, they lost $787 million on that last hand, so they weren't willing to double down on Tucker again.
Off the bat. And, if you go back several years ago,
Right off the bat? Dude, they've been at bat for a while. They swung and fucking missed. I don't know if you know this, but they lost the World Series last week, and the All-Star game is next week.
when Roger Ailes, who largely had built Fox News, he was let go. And then you had the
Gee, why? Why was he let go, Devin? Why'd they let him go? Oh my God! How can you? Why would you let a gem like Roger Ailes go? What could he possibly have done? I can't even think.
Bill O'Reilly was let go.
Why was Bill let go? I can't help but feel like these are related. And so, are you trying to intentionally to leave the impression that the reason Roger Ailes left, which is well known, and the reasons Bill O'Reilly left, which are well known, are somehow in line with why Tucker Carlson left? Could that be an accidental slip, you dum-dum?
And then you had a couple other people where they were lucky to get somebody like Tucker Carlson.
Very.
They kind of had in the minor leagues, and they were able to elevate him.
Uh-huh. And it only cost him $787 million.
And he became, the MVP. And he's largely been leading cable television now for several years.
Leading it right down the toilet.
Now, the difference, Kimberly, is this isn't 5 years ago.
No, definitely not. It is definitely not. I don't know. And we might have to check Snopes, but I don't think this is 5 years ago right now.
And the technology has changed.
Yeah, it totally has. Now you've got things like Truth Social. So, a couple of years ago you might have been, oh, shit, I could go to YouTube or, even that upstart Rumble. But now look at Truth Social. It's got all the money you could possibly want. It's still a flailing piece of shit. There's really no hope. I should stay safe on a big cable now. Whew, glad I'm not in those dumps. What?
5 years ago, we didn't have a Truth Social or a Rumble.
You still don't.
That stand there fighting and protecting free speech.
Yeah, that's how I would describe it.
So now, somebody like Tucker Carlson,
yeah,
if he wanted, or
if he probably doesn't want to, though.
Anybody else for that matter.
Anybody who wants to come over to Truth Social, please come. Please, anyone. Help us. Please.
It's on any of these other networks. Even CNN. Even Don Lemon could actually go and join Rumble. Right?
It's true.
Yeah, they'll take anybody. There's just zero standards at Rumble. What? Where do you think we're watching this?
Do you know something I don't know?
No. You're both equally dumb.
But my point is that I think it's a risk for those reasons, because the technology has moved on. It's not like everybody just has cable TV like, a decade ago. Now
no, it's nothing like that.
So many people that have podcasts. And
Yeah. So at least, when he's leaving at the perfect time when the market is fucking flooded.
Everyone's streaming.
And now these simulcasts. Right. Streaming. Exactly.
And doing big numbers. You see Don Jr.'s show.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Show. We're all doing really well.
Yeah, you're doing so good. So good. Yeah, you're almost, Coke is cheaper these days, so the dollar goes a lot farther.
No, thanks be to God, because people are actually going for an alternative where they don't have news, suppressed, and that's why we love Truth Social
or news at all, really.
Rumble. All right, so let's go move forward here, because I really want to talk to you about this whole deal. Now, you were in Congress, and part of the team, that exposed the whole Russia hoax. It was.
Yeah, totally. You were great at that. I'm not really interested. I'm just enjoying the fact that Tucker Carlson lost his job, along with Bongholio and Jeanine Pirro, and who else did they kick to the curb? Oh, Maria Bartiromo. I will say this, and I'll end on this today, and thank you guys for hanging out. And I will be on, probably going to be on early tomorrow. I have a podcast to do in the morning, so even though I can't do the afternoon show because I have sound check tomorrow, I might jump on for a little while early. And then after the jam, I have to drive back to LA or back to Vegas from LA. But I will say that overall, like, Tucker being bumped was so huge. It eclipsed the fact that Maria Bartiromo lost her show as well. And if anybody carried the big lie further at Fox, the furthest, it was Maria. It was Maria Bartiromo. And man, just bye-bye. I love how the fact that, like, here I am doing my little upstart show, and thanks to you guys, we're growing nicely and we're doing our thing. That in the process of doing that, everybody who kind of makes fun of this format and, live streaming in general, is finding themselves needing it, which is fascinating to me, more so than anything else. So I'm watching that part of it, that the idea that Tucker Carlson, who went from the #1 show on cable news, but only because Rachel Maddow has been taking a break, and as basically everybody's like, you can always do a podcast. or he can always do it live stream, or he could stream on Rumble, or he could put out videos on Rumble and that kind of stuff. The fact that that's a viable option immediately after losing the biggest show in cable news, I think speaks very well to yet another area where I was right to start doing this. I'm just saying. Maybe they'll bring back Megyn Kelly. Oof, I don't think so. Although, it's an interesting thought. I wouldn't rule that out. It'd be tough. I mean, they'd have to broom a bunch of people who were there during the Roger Ailes thing, because there's still some people who work at Fox News who are responsible for keeping that shit quiet while she was being sexually harassed. Nice with the orange background behind you. Well, thank you. I'll move the orange background over and use it in the morning show or something on the regular show at some point. But anyways, love you guys. Yes, they were complicit and they're still there at Fox, so that would be hard. Yeah, Maria Bartiromo was fired as well. Yes, as was Dan Bongino, as was Tucker, as was Judge Janine. Yeah, all 4 of them, and apparently there will be more to go. They're doing a big, just, they'll shake up their lineup and they'll bring somebody in. They'll go, oh, I like that guy. And everybody will fucking forget Tucker, and that'll be that. Everybody's like, this is the other Fox News. And then they'll hire someone awful. And you go, oh, I remember that awful guy. He should have more awful people. And they will. So anyways, much love to you guys. Take care of yourself and take care of somebody else. And I will see you tomorrow. I really will.